battle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Signing Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents, and the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Come visit, learn, and discover at the recently opened Food and Farm Exploration Center near Stevens Point in Plover, Wisconsin. The 50,000 square foot Science and Technology Center is a place to take the entire family. Experience over 60 interactive exhibits, a children's play area, demonstration farm fields, and home to the world's largest potato masher. The Food and Farm Exploration Center is a place for connecting with food and those who grow it. Just a short drive from Milwaukee. Plan your visit today at explorefoodandfarm.org.
Welcome back to the Upswing, live from Majestic Oaks Golf Course here at beautiful Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan. It's the 2024 WTMJ Classic. The Upswing live, looking out over this beautiful course. Golfers just teeing off at 10 a.m. and we're going to have the head pro from the course join us in about 4 or 5 minutes. But first, just two stories, two business stories that I saw over the weekend that piqued my interest, that you're probably like, wow, I missed that. I didn't see that. How does that impact my day-to-day life, Jeff? Well, I'm going to tell you. One, Bloomberg is reporting that Chicago is banking on co-working with an entity called World Business Chicago to lead a big charge and change into downtown Chicago. The city is touting co-working spaces in iconic tourist locations to generate an economic impact this summer of over $10 million. The one thing people do not realize about downtown Milwaukee, if you haven't been in downtown Milwaukee for a long time, we have a ton of residents. So downtown Milwaukee is active and alive and full of not only corporations and businesses, but a ton of residents. So it provides a really interesting vitality and mix. But Chicago, on the other hand, sure, there's 8 million people in greater downtown Chicago, more than the entire state of Wisconsin put together. But the downtown vacancy rate in Chicago has been setting records quarter after quarter and recently rose to 22.5%, according to Jones Lang LaSalle Inc. So Chicago leaders came together and said, all right, perceptions of crime aren't going away. Businesses are moving out. What can we do to build our population base throughout the summer? So Chicago is betting on this summer, when most Americans are eager to kind of get out of the office a little bit more, escape the 9 to 5, and get into co-working spaces. So they're going to use Navy Pier, they're going to use the Museum of Contemporary Art, and they're going to use the Chicago Cultural Center to be workspaces. And it's led by Civic Boosters and billionaire Petty Pritzker of the nonprofit P33. It's a 3-month campaign called Work from Summertime Shy. And the initiative is going to aim to bring $10 million of economic impact to the Loop, as the Central Business District is known, and all the surrounding areas. It's a really interesting campaign, and I like to see, you don't rest on your laurels. You don't say, hey, the office spaces are going away, downtown's dying, you do something about it and you create co-working spaces in places that otherwise you may think, that's not typically a place where I'd like to go work. But Chicago is fighting the inertia in its plans to tap social media, to use influencers, to hype these new co-working spaces, including offshore rooftop with these striking views of Lake Michigan and the city, coaxing more and more people downtown, which is probably going to hopefully ease some of the crime fears and spur greater development. I'd love to see something like this happen in Milwaukee as well, because as Chicago goes, Milwaukee goes, the economies are both connected. Another story that I saw over the weekend. Anyone know who Sam Butcher is? Sam passed away last week. Sam Butcher was the soft-spoken artist who created those doe-eye, pastel-hued porcelain Precious Moments figurines. So if you have a grandmother or your grandmother or grandfather yourself, go into the basement right now and see if you have any of those old-school Precious Moments figurines, because the founder, who kind of put all of his heart, all of his soul into the Precious Moments business, has passed away. He was 85, and he was kind of known as the Michelangelo of Missouri, as he kind of created this Sistine Chapel of his own in his hometown. The Beanie Babies of porcelain, that's what these Precious Moments figurines are. I did a little research of my own, because I think my grandmother used to own some Precious Moments figurines. $15,000 for some of them. So go in the basement, maybe even have some displayed in a display case in a rec room or in your kitchen or your dining room. They're still sought after. Go look at your Precious Moments figurines. They could be worth a whole lot of cash. That's my tip for you today. We're going to come back and we're going to talk. Actually, I'm going to introduce him right now because he just walked in to the mobile studio here at the WTMJ Classic. Joe Serpico, who is the head golf pro here at Majestic Oaks. Joe, welcome. How are you today?
I'm great, Jeff. Great to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Thanks for coming out today.
Thanks for all that you're doing for our fine team here. So how'd the shotgun start go?
Good. Once the players finally rolled in, when an outing goes out, you always have people showing up at the last second. I think we had a couple people that are still on their way in, so they might be a little late, miss a hole or two. But no, it went really well. We had a nice DJ set up with actually one of my coworkers, Josh. He does DJing on the side, so nice. We had him doing a little music.
As I was walking in, I heard the inspirational music. It got me going and got everyone rolling. A little coffee, a little nice spread out here, and I've even seen a couple people walk around with some Bloody Marys, which is a good thing.
Just one or two.
Yes. All right, we're going to head to break, but when we come back, I want to talk to you about the history of the course here, kind of do some deep dives into the trends in the golf world, and a whole lot more. This is the Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94, eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
EasyCater. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Whether you need food for catered meetings or company events, EasyCater has everything to make food for work, work. Seriously, it's all right here in one place. Coffee, snacks, breakfast, daily employee lunches, you name it. Whether you run a nonprofit or a company with offices nationwide, we've got you covered. Anywhere work happens, EasyCater has everything you need to make food for work, work. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
For the ultimate sports betting experience, get in the game at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Unleash your inner champion with dozens of betting kiosks, a VIP deck, high-end bar, first-class restaurant, broadcast booth, a 2,000-square-foot video wall, and more. It's a sports fan's paradise, 24/7. Bet above the rest. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Visit the website for more. Must be 21 years old. All bets must be made on site.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost, free tire repair, and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Buy one or a whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Welcome back to the Upswing, live from the WTMJ Classic out here in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. You couldn't ask for better weather. It's not too sunny. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. There's a slight breeze. It isn't going to affect the ball a whole lot. And we're joined by Joe Serpico. Serpico. Say that several times. And Joe's just coming off the course. He's got a lot of duties today, so I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us. So give us the history of the beautiful course here, Joe.
Yeah, so obviously Lake Lawn's been around for quite a long time, back to the late 1800s.
Yeah.
And our course was originally designed and opened in 1921.
Okay.
So a little bit past our centennial 3 years ago. And it really hasn't gone through any major redesigns, anything like that. Certainly done some updating here and there over the years. We actually just did our last update last year where we just kind of rerouted the course. So the first 5 holes from the front 9 and the first 5 holes from the back 9 just flip-flopped. It just made it flow a little bit more seamlessly, made the pars make a little bit more sense, and directionally as you're driving around, it just made a little bit more sense. So that was kind of the reasoning there, and then we changed hole number 18 to a par 5 this year.
Okay, very good. All right. And, I did a little research on the course. It was designed by Illinois Hall of Fame member Dick Nugent. He designed 90 other courses in 12 states. And it's just so accessible. That's the great thing about Lake Lawn is like right off the expressway, you got a lot around you, and you get here and you're like, whoa, I'm in this majestic, beautiful space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's awesome. So what's your path to Lake Lawn? Give us your professional golf pro path, Joe.
Yeah, little out of the ordinary, let's say that. So started as an aviation recruiter. Got started there from a buddy of mine. I have to give him a shout out because I just played with him the other day at Medina.
Oh, wow.
So he
throwing out the Medina card.
Yeah,
really.
So he was my coach when I played college hockey, and then after college, he recruited me to come and work at the aviation company. And through that, he was nice enough to allow me to go and work remotely from Hawaii while doing that.
Nice.
So Mike Raporto, shout out to you. And when we were playing in Medina the other day, he got a hole-in-one on hole number 18.
Oh, wow.
So,
congrats. All right, that's the reason why we're giving you the hole-in-one shout-out at the WTMJ
give him a shout out
Classic.
for that.
So did playing hockey influence your path to golf? Like same kind of motion?
Yeah, it really is a very similar motion.
Yeah.
Baseball is probably the worst swing to translate over to golf.
Yeah.
And hockey would be a very good one to translate over. The slap shot is, kind of like a drive.
Yes.
So that certainly helped with me being a golfer. But, once I moved out to Hawaii, Then I was working 4 a.m. to noon because I was working on Chicago time.
Okay.
So I would be done at noon, and I moved out there.
You were in Maui, right?
Maui, yeah.
So we went for a honeymoon. Beautiful. I didn't play golf on my honeymoon. Full disclosure.
Smart man.
Probably a good
Smart
thing.
Man.
Yes.
She was a golfer.
What a beautiful place. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then when I got out there, I had all afternoon to do whatever, and I didn't know anybody, and I was working from home, so I wasn't meeting anybody through work. So I was like, all right, I'll start working part-time at a golf course, get free golf, get to know people, and one thing led to another, and I stopped doing the aviation thing and started working full-time in golf out there.
Okay.
And then I started going back and forth after a few years because you get island fever. It's a thing. So at the end of the day, you're stuck on a piece of rock in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
So you definitely
Time
get a little
to get back
island
to the
fever.
mainland.
And so I started doing summers out here at Geneva National down the road.
Okay.
And then winters back in Maui. And I did that for 3 winters and 3 summers. And then got a call and an opportunity from the superintendent here, Kevin Hammond, who, shout out to Kevin, does a fantastic job to keep this course in as great shape.
It's beautiful, green and lush. It looks absolutely amazing.
The greens are speedy, but not crazy, and it's just, he does a fantastic job.
How is that balance? Like, you want to make the course aggressive and tough, but at the same time, you want to make it approachable. Like, how do you from a pro and a team out here, tackle that every day?
Yeah, I mean, that is certainly a balance because you want it to be challenging, but you don't want it to scare away somebody who's newer to golf.
Yeah.
And we want to get as many people into golf as we can and grow the game, and that's kind of hard to do because it is a more expensive sport, for one. It's very time-consuming. Around even a regularly paced round is about 4 hours, so that's a time commitment that you're away from your family, your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, what have you.
Yeah.
So that's certainly a balance. So, we want to make it challenging enough that people that are a little bit better don't get bored.
Right.
But we want to make it also approachable. So our course is a little bit shorter in the overall length, so we have to make it a little bit more challenging in other areas. And it's kind of tight-lined with trees. The greens are all smaller, but they're all well guarded by bunkers.
Yeah.
There's several ridges. Probably 7 of the holes have ridges. So, if you're on the wrong side of the ridge, good luck. You're just hoping for a 2-putt at that point in time.
That's right.
But, so it's a little bit of that, and then keeping the greens fast enough but not too fast where everybody's going to be 3-putting.
All right.
So that's kind of the balance.
Are you seeing more and more new golfers coming into the game? I think kind of you had this post-pandemic rise of golf because it was outdoors. It was easy to get into. Are you still seeing that?
Yeah, I think so. And we do something here. It's called family golf. So Sunday through Thursday, after 4 p.m., you can come on out with the family as long as you have one person in your group that is 17 years or younger.
Okay.
It's $14 per person. Even the adults are paying $14. And that's going to come with chips or a candy bar and a fountain soda and 9 holes of golf.
Okay.
For $14.
Hold that. We'll talk more when we come back from the break. WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next.
Dr. Anthony Fauci on Capitol Hill right now, facing questions from members of the House Select Subcommittee on the pandemic. Republicans claiming they have evidence showing Fauci used his personal email in an attempt to evade public records laws. Fauci responding,
"Let me state for the record that to the best of my knowledge, I have never conducted official business using my personal email."
In Wilmington, Delaware, jury selection in Hunter Biden's trial is going on. The president's son accused of lying on a federal application for a firearm by saying he was not using drugs when he was. 2 NYPD officers shot and wounded in Queens.
Mayor Eric Adams says the shooter could have killed them.
A total disregard for life.
The suspect identified as a 19-year-old migrant from Venezuela living in a city shelter. He was also wounded and taken to a local hospital.
That's ABC's Derek Dennis here in New York. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:31, jury selection begins today in the trial of David Patura. He's accused, along with 15-year-old Eric Mendoza, of murdering 5-year-old Prince McCree and putting the child's body in a dumpster last October. Two face numerous charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, hiding a corpse, and physical abuse of a child causing death. Patura is being held in the Milwaukee County Jail on $500,000 bail. Mendoza being held for the same amount in the Juvenile Justice Center. MBS School Board could fire Superintendent Keith Posley as as early as this evening at a special board meeting. This comes in the wake of a public outcry following the release of a Department of Public Instruction letter threatening to withhold funding from MPS due to missing financial reports. Meeting will be the first time the community's gotten to officially address the board since learning about the financial trouble. Warden at the troubled Waupun Correctional Institution will step down later this month amid lockdown conditions, an ongoing federal investigation, and multiple inmate deaths. State Department of Corrections says Randall Hepp has announced his retirement, though the Wisconsin State Journal reports Hepp sent an email to prison staff Tuesday announcing his resignation. 4 inmates have died at Waupun since June of 2023. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 234 points, 38,452. NASDAQ is up 62, 16,799. The S&P 500 is down 6 points at 5,270. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite, financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. A little bit of slowing. The construction zone, I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road. Everything else looks okay. 94 northbound from Layton to the Marquette interchange, about a 6-minute drive. And 94 east from Highway 16 to the zoo. It'll take you about 10 minutes this morning. Here's your Storm Team 4 5-day forecast. Scattered afternoon storms. The severe risk is low. Looking for a high today of 77. Storms should end early tonight with a low of 63. Dry most of tomorrow, then evening storms popping up with a high Tuesday of 80 degrees. Showers early Wednesday, then partly cloudy, 78. Mostly sunny, cooler, breezy Thursday, a high 73. Partly cloudy Friday with a high of 72. Madison's at 72. So is Green Bay and Milwaukee. We're at 73 degrees. I'm Connie Weber, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1033.
In the nonprofit world, finding executive-level qualified talent can keep an organization out of rhythm. Let Spano Pratt help you get your rhythm back. For more than 20 years, Spano Pratt conducted searches at the CEO, president, executive director, VP, and director levels. They're trained in board governance, offer customized research, and deliver unwavering personal attention. They don't simply help people find a job. They help them find their passion. Spano Pratt. Learn more at spanopratt.com.
Stay and play in Lake Geneva, the Midwest's premier golf destination. With 10 challenging courses for all abilities and skill levels, breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Enjoy an all-inclusive golf getaway with luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. For course information and more, go to visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for legendary golf.
Spring fishing is finally here, and Fleet Farm has everything you need to reel in more fish this year. Upgrade your gear with the best brands like Rapala, Berkeley, and St. Croix. Find exclusive flicker sheds you won't find anywhere else, starting at $12.99. Get rod and reel combos starting at only $24.99. And shop our wide selection of fishing line that starts at just $4.99. Land top fishing gear and everything else you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. We're all living longer. That means in all of our families, people are facing Alzheimer's, dementia, and other memory-related issues. Azura specializes in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They're Wisconsin-based, 14 in our state, 4 in our area. I've been in their buildings. They're fantastic. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, empathy and compassion at the core. It's Azura.
Welcome back to the Upswing, live from the WTMJ Classic here in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Joe Serpico, Majestic Oaks, golf pro. So, Joe, I grew up caddying. Caddying, I think everyone, if you have an opportunity at age 14, 15, 16, be a caddy. You learn life lessons. You learn how to communicate. You learn to interact with CEOs. You see anger. You see a lot of things on the golf course. It's really great. But how do you groom the younger generation to really appreciate and learn the game of golf? Because it can be a tough sport.
Yeah, it definitely can be. And let's be honest, if they're learning from somebody who Either it wasn't taught, how to conduct yourself on a golf course and all the etiquette, because there's a lot of little things that might not be common knowledge.
Exactly.
So if you're not even being taught from the right person, then you have no shot. But yeah, I think that just getting out and being on the course, being observant of what's going on around you, is a huge stepping stone, and just being comfortable. And again, that just comes from being uncomfortable, getting out there.
Exactly.
Put yourself in uncomfortable positions, and then you can learn from other people and get a little bit more comfortable yourself.
Yeah, learning all the rules, not being too scared, but just going to kind of tackle the sport with a vengeance, but know that, like anything, and that's kind of why I haven't played as much in the last several years, is because if I don't play consistently and I don't practice, the sport is more frustrating.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, I love it. So it's like anything in life. You got to put in the time if you want to really see the rewards.
Yeah, and people, speaking of frustrating, people think that as you become better at golf, it gets less frustrating. It's the exact opposite. It's totally the exact opposite. You just expect more out of yourself, and when you have an off day, you just get more frustrated.
So other than putting in the work, hitting the range, working on the short game, what are some of your suggestions for kind of a typical weekend player?
Yeah, first off, stay away from Dr. YouTube. You can have 1,000 videos, and every other video is telling you something totally different. And just because it might be a good piece of advice doesn't mean it's actually going to work for you in particular. So I would get lessons, to be honest with you. Go and talk to a professional, or maybe even just a buddy who's really good or played high school or college golf even, and actually get some feedback about your specific swing, because they're actually going to take those pieces of information and translate it to your swing. Not everybody's hips and shoulders can move in the same way of other people, so if you're just taking a blanket idea or blanket tip, that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And if you don't have somebody there to actually tell you that, then you're just going to be beating your head against a wall.
I like that. That's great advice. So what's happening the rest of the summer here at Majestic Oaks?
Well, hopefully a whole lot of beautiful weather and a whole lot of golf.
Yeah.
Just like last year and the year before that. But our big one, so we do basically 2 big outings a year, other than obviously this one with you guys.
Right.
But we do our kickoff of the summer. It's called Salt the Rim. It's a Cinco de Mayo themed outing. So that's always like the first weekend of May.
Very good.
So that one's in the past. And then our last one is kind of at the close of the season. It's in September, and it's called the Craft Brew Open. So it's more of an Oktoberfest thing.
Okay.
So we don't have a date pinned down concrete on that one yet, but keep your ears open for a date to roll out, and that one's a whole bunch of fun. Like pretty much every third hole, you're getting free beer samples.
Nice.
And so we need to watch the golfers and make sure all carts stay on 4 wheels on that day. But yeah, so that's really the next big one that we have. But yeah, it's just going to be a great summer. A lot of outings that we have planned.
All right.
But yeah, this one's definitely one of our big ones.
And if you want to make tee times or get in around, what's the easiest way to do that?
Give us a call. You could always go to our website and try to book a tee time there, or you can just give us a call. We could book it for you there. Either way, it's pretty simple.
All right. Well, we appreciate you having our crew out here. WTMJ, The Truth, ESPN Wisconsin, all of our wonderful partners. It's a perfect day here in Delavan. We'll be right back after the break. We are going to move from the golf course to the great outdoors. There's a new outdoor experience and rental business in Milwaukee, and a few of the owners will join us via phone. Forward Outdoor. This is the Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Music director Ken David Mazur conducts the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and Chorus in Carmina Burana and Carlos Simon's Fate Now Conquers at the Bradley Symphony Center June 7th through the 9th. You don't want to miss this thrilling program, which also showcases the talents of principal trombone Megumi Kanda as soloist in Tandun's Three Muses in Video Game. Call the box office right now to guarantee your seats at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org. Artistic partner Deshaun Burton is one of a trio of soloists in Orff's famous ode to earthly pleasures, Carmina Burana. No doubt you've heard bits and pieces of it in commercials, TV shows, and films, but there is nothing like experiencing the full might of this piece in person. Visit mso.org for tickets or call 414-291-7605.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But right now, you can buy the highest-end Beautyrest Black and Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near their highest-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These mattresses are the best, and you can get them for way less. Like the Split King Tempur-Pedic Luxe Breeze in soft or firm was $10,198, now just $25,448. Or the Queen Beautyrest Black L-Class Firm was $26.99, but the floor model is just $13.49. Plus, save with massive markdowns on adjustable bases, starting at $287. It's like buying a Rolls Royce for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Selection is limited. Only a few floor models are available at each Hassellus location, and when they're gone for good. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing, live from the WTMJ Classic here at Majestic Oaks at Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan. What a perfect day. People teeing off right in front of me. A couple people on the practice green. I'm just trying to not talk too loud. Don't want to disrupt any swings. Maybe I should talk like this for the rest of the show. No, I won't. We're going to move from the golf course to the great outdoors. Kurt and Elizabeth Bayman from Forward Outdoor join us. Kurt, Elizabeth, how are we today?
Great. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. I'm out at a golf course, so like you, other than being maybe on a kayak or on a paddle board, it's about the best place to be here in the beautiful state of Wisconsin.
Not a bad Monday morning.
That's right. So, Kurt, we've talked and met a few times. I'm really interested in your background in sustainability and B Corp consulting. Tell us what first B Corps are and talk about the key benefits and kind of how you've done work in that space.
Sure. So I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison, and that's where I really discovered sustainability. And it's, for the folks that don't know, sustainability in general is the equal consideration of the environmental, social, and financial impact that a business makes. And we had a class that combined the Institute for Environmental Studies with the business school, and it really clicked for me because growing up in a small family business where, the business was a part of the community and we knew our customers well and treated people with respect, and that you see kind of, unfortunately, some of the aspects of business that don't have the greatest impacts on the community, and that's where it really clicked for me. I brought it to every job I was in for 20 years or so, and then I had the great fortune to become the sustainability manager for Outpost Natural Foods here in town.
Yeah.
And, they really have sustainability at the core of what they're doing. And then so years ago, what happened, so B Corp is a certification where a company will voluntarily go through a certification process to make sure that their impacts are positive for the environment and the community, while also making money. And so it's a mark that somebody can put on their product that lets customers know that they can trust that this business has the community first in mind.
So it creates, it's a certification process that will kind of further the social and environmental performance, create a little bit more public transparency, some legal accountability, and really showcase that the business is about greater good, but also about driving wealth and shareholder value and customer value.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, is that it does put environmental, social, and the economic factors on equal footing. So it really is a give and a take on every decision you're making.
All right. So we are here out at Lake Lawn Resort. Tell us about Bayman's Golf Center a little bit in your background there, and then we'll get into Forward Outdoor, and you can tell us all about your new business.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up with a golf club in my hand, basically, so it's very cool that you're out there today. I remember going to Lake Lawn years ago when I was a kid. Basically, in about 1960, my dad opened up a driving range in Cedarburg, and then over the years added a par 3 course and a mini golf and a pro shop, and really had this amazing community place where people could come together. People were bringing out families to play mini golf, and as you well know, golf is a great social game that gets folks outside. And we kind of ran that business until just a few years ago.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Great legacy there. I'm sure it was a great training ground to what you're doing today. But when we come back from the break, your new business is Forward Outdoor. Just launched a couple weeks ago, but I'm sure you've been working on it for years and putting together the experiences and all the logistics that go into entrepreneurship. We'll come back with Kurt Bayman from Forward Outdoor, live from the WTMJ Classic here at beautiful Majestic Oaks. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news! Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
The Brewers Sunday Fun Day Bundle is your new way to brunch this summer. Get tickets, food, beverages, and parking for up to 15 people, starting at $62. Get yours at brewers.com/funday.
Looking for the perfect place for your kids to spend time outside this summer? Wisconsin Farmers Union Youth Camp in Chippewa Falls offers the perfect environment for your child to experience the great outdoors, learn new skills, make lifelong friendships, and have fun. Located at Camp Kenwood on beautiful Lake Wissota, near Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin Farmers Union Youth Camp has options for campers of every age or experience. They offer day camps and single night camps for beginner campers and 4 to 5 day camps for more experienced campers. All camp sessions are geared towards children and teens from ages 7 to 17. While at Farmers Union Camp, campers will divide into an unplugged camp session full of games and outdoor activities that not only bring the fun, but also teach lifelong lessons about agriculture, sustainability, leadership, civic engagement, cooperatives, and so much more. All camp sessions are under $200, and there are also scholarships available. For more information and registration, go to wisconsinfarmersunion.com and click on Camp Kenwood.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement.
At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing live from the WTMJ Classic here at Majestic Oaks in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Just an absolutely stunning, perfect day. All things outdoors. It's going to be a quick, fun segment with the owners of Forward Outdoor. I always like to spotlight entrepreneurs and new businesses. So, Kurt, give us the overview of what you're doing in the outdoor experience and rental space.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really saw that there's a gap in the market here in Milwaukee for folks that can rent outdoor gear to take it with them to get outside. And during the pandemic, a lot of people started to get outside and got a taste of the outdoors. And really, sometimes we just need that little extra push. People are really busy. They want things to be made easy for them. And so basically what we do is we rent canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, mountain bikes, camping gear, things like that. And then we also do experiences focused on either social events or field trips. So if you remember the feeling of having a field trip as a kid, that's what we're trying to recreate, where we combine a traditional outdoor activity like hiking, biking, or paddling with one that is something in wellness space, food, or art.
And where are you located, and kind of what's the easiest way to plug in on the rentals?
Yeah, so our headquarters is in the Amorphic Brewery building in River West. We've got a space there where people can pick up, and then we meet there as well. And then, so we also do private experiences for group team building, bachelor parties, birthday parties, things like that. We've got a website. It's forwardoutdoor.com. We're on Facebook and Instagram. And, we're just really trying to get people outside and get humans together face-to-face and create that social interaction.
Good. Well, earlier in the show, I got some good insight as to how to work on the golf game and how to get the swing down pat. And the golf pro here definitely said, don't go straight to YouTube because those are you're going to see too much. So what is your advice for getting on a kayak, or more importantly, getting on a stand-up board for the very first time?
Yeah, absolutely. They can be a little tricky, that's for sure, the stand-up paddleboard. Number one is wear your life jacket, because a lot of people think that
safety first.
I'm on a calm river or something. You never know what's going to happen, and so definitely wear the life jacket and do your research. There's a lot of good resources out there, Facebook groups and such, and go on flat water. If folks try and go into the river right away, even on a calm river, a lot of hazards can come up. So starting with preferably a no motor lake where there's no wakes. Or a very flat, calm water is definitely going to give folks the best experience first off.
Yeah. Okay. And kayaks, same way. I mean, the kayaks are pretty stable these days. I mean, are there more performance-based ones? Like, what are you renting and what are you seeing? Like, as a beginner, what's the best kayak to get into?
Yeah, definitely. So, there's everything from your whitewater kayaks up to touring kayaks, and we kind of go right in the middle with your sit on top and sit in recreational kayaks. They're the most stable, they're the most fun, the easiest to maneuver, and so they're great for beginners, but also folks that are experienced. And they're the best for the water conditions that we have in the Wisconsin area here.
All right. So you have some pretty cool experience-based programs coming up. You talked about a little bit, but tell us a little bit more about those. There's a hike and distillery tasting coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing that up in Slinger. There's a new distillery called Altered Spirits, and that's on Father's Day weekend. So if anybody is looking for a great experience for Dad, that'd be a great one. We're going to do a hike up there at Pike Lake State Park, and then check out the brewery the distillery, and have try some of their spirits. And what we're doing is really mashups of interesting combinations, combining an outdoor thing and something that isn't. So, we're also doing a hike in a supper club, and we're doing yoga on a flower farm. We're folks can do their yoga and then go pick a bouquet of flowers right from the field and things like that.
Nice. I love the kind of the strategic partnerships you're forming. It's got to be fun to launch a business that way and find the right partners to craft experiences and grow a business at the same time. On June 21st, there's a fish fry, music, and moonrise paddle experience, and that sounds a whole lot of fun, not only because it's my birthday and the summer solstice, but tell us a little bit about that event.
Yeah, that one's also going to be up at Pike Lake. That's a great one. They're doing a community fish fry. They're going to have some live music, and it happens to be the full moon, and so we're going to put kayaks out into the lake, and folks can watch the moon rise over the horizon.
Okay, very good. Well, Kurt Bayman from Forward Outdoor joining us today on the Upswing as I'm sitting out here at a real upswing, the golf course at Majestic Oaks, the WTMJ Classic. Kurt, appreciate your time. All the best with the business, and keep up the good work. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. WTMJ news time is 10:57. Coming up next is Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg and Jessica. We're live from the WTMJ Classic. We'll see you tomorrow for business headlines with Rich Kirchen.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance